team that is not a number 1 seed that can win it all. Lay it on me.
Oklahoma State, the 4 seed in the Midwest region. We were talking earlier about 1 seeds that we think can get bounced early. I'm not as bullish on the Fighting Illini as you are.
Whoa, what have you been watching?
Well, I saw my Missouri Tigers beat them earlier this year. I know they're playing hot right now, but I know Missouri is not a great team. And if they can be, the Illini are a team that's playing so well right now. I think having a week-long break, so to speak, kind of ruins some of the momentum from the regular season, traveling to a new spot, things like so. They're a good team, and DeSumo is a beast, and Coburn's a beast. But Oklahoma State, every single game that they are alive and playing in this tournament, will have the best, most talented player on the floor. Doesn't matter which team in the country they play, because the best and most talented player in all of college basketball, who's likely to be the number 1 pick in the upcoming draft, is Cade Cunningham, who has lived up to and exceeded expectation in his only season there in Stillwater. So that right there to me is the great equalizer. Oklahoma State was really good down the stretch in the Big 12. Some of the teams that they beat, they lost in the Big 12 title game, but Cade Cunningham beat Baylor once. I think they got Texas once over the last couple of games. Texas Tech. Who else?
They got Kansas.
They were fantastic. In February and March, they have been awesome. Their wins have been great, and their losses have been 1 or 2 possession type of games. So I can see them continuing that momentum, especially with Cunningham leading the way.
I'm taking the Ohio State Buckeyes. I was rooting for them to lose against Illinois yesterday so that I could get a better price on them to win the whole thing, which now they're sitting at 20 or 25 to 1. If they had won yesterday, I think that would have been a lot lower. Resilience is the key. They're in the Baylor bracket. I don't trust Baylor based on what I saw late in the season, so I think there's an opportunity. If they've been with Gonzaga or Illinois, that's another situation. They lost the final 4 games of the regular season and could have packed it in. And instead, they went into the tournament, they got past Minnesota, they blew a huge second-half lead against Purdue and then won in overtime, and then they came roaring back after being down early double digits to Illinois. They are resilient. Good offense, good defense, battle-tested, well-coached, can knock down free throws. Ohio State would be my non-number 1 seed that I could see winning this thing. Question number 2, the first number 1 seed that goes down will be?
I think we've talked about this a lot. Michigan has that tough draw. They're missing Livers, who's such an important piece for them for their 94-foot game. They have a difficult matchup in the second round, whether it's LSU or St. Bonaventure. LSU can outscore anyone in the entire country, no matter how good your defense is. And the Bonnies are one of the best mid-major teams that we have in college basketball. So Michigan, I believe, is the 1 seed that gets bounced first or earliest amongst the 4.
Complete agreement. The Livers injury, the path, and the fact that they stumbled down the stretch. There's not a lot to like there, but there is a consensus building against Michigan, which could be a dangerous thing when we all start saying the same thing there. All right, question number 3. A team seeded 9 through 16. So we're talking the lower halves here. Team seeded 9 through 16 that will make the Sweet 16.
Okay, I'm going to go to a team that not many people have talked about, but I noticed one metric when digging in that I think you can rely on, and that is the fact that Abilene Christian, the 14 seed in the East, has the best defensive rating in all of college basketball. It's like 86.3. So basically, they allow 86 points per 100 possessions, which is phenomenal defense. I looked at their roster, and they don't have like a great scorer. They have like 3 or 4 guys that average around 11, 12, 13 points. They're balanced. And what you can't really like focus on is one guy to shut down because they share the ball well. Not only are they a great defense, but I think they're top 20, top 25 in terms of assists per game. So they just share the ball well. They play good defense. And to me, that's something you can ride for a weekend into the Sweet 16.
So just to be clear, you spent all of last night listening to me yell and scream about how much I like Texas.
Yeah.
And then when you were asked to pick an upset in the first round, you immediately picked against Texas.
Yeah, it's because you were kind of rude to me last night. You threw a pin at me last night when we were doing the selection.
I threw a pin at the camera for effect. You just happened to be in between me and the camera.
That's a difficult first-round matchup, but I think Abilene is a live dog in that situation against Texas with their great defense.
I take UCSB, the Gauchos, 12 seed that opens with a susceptible Creighton team. These are 2 teams that are heading in different directions. Creighton stumbled down the stretch. They lost 3 of their final 6, and 2 of the games they won were against a bad Butler team, so they're not playing very well. Meanwhile, when it comes to the Gauchos, they enter the tournament having won 18 of 19. Good free throw shooting team, good 3-point shooting team. They're red hot, and they play at a glacial pace, which is something that has given Creighton some issues this season. Now, if they win this game and move on, they get the winner of Ohio, who's a 13 seed, and Virginia. And Virginia's got some COVID issues, so they could find themselves in a favorable situation / matchup in the second round. The Gauchos to the Sweet 16 for this guy right here.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.